Welcome everyone, here, take two. Welcome back to Huckleberry Bastion. So today, we're going to take a look at a knife that's very special to me. Has a lot of sentimental value. This knife here, by XXX Knives, I purchased at an outdoor show in New Brunswick, and it's a handmade knife by XXX Knives here in Nova Scotia. And I purchased this knife a week before my son Liam was born, and you've seen Liam in some of the other videos, so you know it means a lot to me. It's got a lot of sentimental value. I've been carrying it for basically the last 6 years. I carry it around in the woods, but I think it's about time. It's a bit overdue for us to take a closer look at it. And since we were kind of showcasing a knife made by another Nova Scotia knife maker, I thought why not highlight more Nova Scotia content and take a look at this knife. First we'll take a look at the knife itself and the sheath, and then we'll run it through our basic test just like we did before. It's made of L6 carbon steel. It's about a 58 to 60 hardness level. It has a 4-inch blade, and its overall length is about 9 inches or so. It has a Scandi grind, so it's real easy to keep sharp. It has a nice flat 1/8 inch thick spine, you can see, which runs the entire length. Of course, it's a full tang knife. The handle itself is about 4.5 inches in length, with the pins here and the logo, XXX Knives here. Now the information card I got with it said that it was a G10 material, but I'm not sure if it is. And my memory may be a little poor because it has been 6 years, but I remember speaking with him and he said something about some kind of compressed wood or cardboard with resin. It's pretty sturdy. Whatever it is, it's held up really well. And that it has this kind of deep cut profile. Now I have small hands, so it's fairly comfortable, but I'm not really touching in here much. I'm just kind of on the sides and with my fingers. Again, like some other knives I've looked at, I really love to have a bit of belly here, a bit of roundedness, because I get a bit better grip, but I haven't really had any problems with this, and like I said, I've been using it for 6 years. So it's fairly comfortable, but it is kind of an odd shape. This is the sheath that came with the knife. It's your Bushcraft style sheath where the knife sets deep inside the sheath, and it retains it fairly well. You could knock it out with a lot of force, but it still stays in quite nice and snug. It has a just your basic loop for your belt, and it's pretty simple, but gets the job done and looks nice. It's got a nice logo right there. A few other things I just wanted to make note of. It's because this is a Bushcraft style sheath, and this is a Bushcraft style knife. It doesn't have a lanyard hole, so no lanyard, and it has this pointy kind of butt, so you don't really have a good striking surface with your pommel. But because it has no lanyard hole and it sets so deep into the sheath, you really just have to grab it here to pull it out. So you have to kind of do that. It takes a bit to get the knife out. You can't just quickly grab and have your knife ready if you had to. So it just takes a little work. If you want to learn more about XXX Knives and see some of the other very nice knives they've done, they do all kinds of different styles. I'm going to put a link to their website below, and you can check them out. Now, let's put it to the test and see what it can do. Now for the cutting test. So, we're going to cut this. It's a bit smaller than my wrist, but we're going to use a cutting technique that can be found in Northern Bushcraft. It's a good book by Morris Kuchansky. Hope I'm saying his name right. I'm terrible with names as always. But we're going to give the knife a test, so let's go for it. I'm going to be using my left hand So here we go. Maybe not cut into that hard knot there. Well, my technique isn't great, and I need a little practice. More so you should rock the knife as you're bending the tree, but the knife itself is cutting through no problems at all. I scavenged around. I was able to find this smaller little bit of log here, and we're going to try to baton this and see what happens. Just got to get into position here, probably on the side. There's it's kind of a knotty wood, so it may not baton well, but I don't think that will be a fault of the knife, or again, my small baton. With a smaller knife, you're limited with the amount of space you have with the length. So you can make batoning through like this a little difficult, but again, it's performing well and taking a lot of abuse. Now we'll try everybody's favorite, feather sticking. It can feather stick. I've had a lot of experience with this knife, and I've carried it with me a lot. So strangely, even though it has this kind of a strange profile here, one of the advantages I found is that when I'm gripping it like this, it fits really comfortably. So when I'm using my chest, it works really nice. The chest lever. And you can see it takes nice big chunks. With that Scandi grind, it's super easy to sharpen, and you get a really nice edge for this kind of work. So making spear points, tent pegs, doing notches, anything like that, it performs really well. Hey, whatever scientist out there had the idea of doing a genocide on mosquitoes, I fully support it. Whatever you need, buddy, you just let me know. I'll be there. I'll spray all the little buggers myself. Huckleberry Bastion is pro mosquito genocide. Maybe keep a few in a lab or in a mosquito zoo or something. Ugh. Now I'm going to try this fire steel, and this fire steel is relatively new. I'm going to try to see if we can get sparks off the spine. The spine is 90 degrees, but it's rounded over a bit, so it feels kind of smooth. I don't know if we're going to be able to get sparks. Let's give it a try. There's a bit there, but no, it just doesn't want to go. Maybe if we filed that sharp, we'd have better results. Let's test it with my Leatherman. So now I'm going to use the same fire steel with the back of the saw on my Leatherman signal, just to make sure it wasn't the fire steel. Here we go. There you go. Now we're going to try a little chopping test. I know this is a bit silly. This knife definitely isn't designed for chopping. It's more for carving and your basic knife work and everything you've seen so far, which it performs great at. It just doesn't have the length or the weight or the blade profile for really doing a lot of chopping, but we'll give it a test and just see what happens. Being even grabbing back here to get a little bit more leverage into the swing and things. You could chop, but it's definitely not what the knife is meant for, and it's not going to perform real well. You're going to use a lot of energy. Better to use other methods to get through and process your wood. So there's our look at this Bushcraft knife by XXX Knives. Now, is it the perfect knife? Of course not. I'd like, again, a lanyard hole, a flat pommel, maybe a bit more length on the blade itself, and I always like the rounded handles, as I've said before in other videos. That's just a personal preference. But the thing about this blade, this is my knife. This is probably a one of a kind. There are none others out there that I know of that are exactly like this one. This is the knife I carry most of the time when I'm in the woods. Has tremendous sentimental value to me and a lot of good memories. And this is the knife I hope to pass on to my son when he gets older, as long as I haven't beat it up and destroyed it before then. Don't cue that music yet. I know I'm not getting a lot of views on my videos, but that's not really why I do them. I really just want to share the experience, have an excuse to come out here in the woods and practice my skills and learn new skills and things, and also just something to share with my son and my brothers and family. Just it's just one small piece of what Huckleberry Bastion is and what I'm trying to build with it. So I thank everybody for watching. We'll have more videos sometime in the future here. I'll see you next time. People often ask me, hey, you're an amateur survival enthusiast. You probably know what you're talking about. What kind of foods should I take in the woods that would best fit a survival situation? Well, it's only one thing that I take, and that's these brownies shaped like bear paws. I mean, it's shaped like a bear paw. Well, you guys should probably not be listening to me. You're gonna go out and read yourself some books, and you know, there are like trained professionals out there that might know what they're talking about. So check those guys out. I'm just gonna sit here and eat whatever this thing is. It tastes like bear poop, and I would know.